following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Stand back.
Yeah, Wanda, stand back.
The entrance all this girl stuff.
Sparks! And it rolls aside. There's the interior of a vault there. You played Fallout.
Yeah.
This is the interior of a vault.
This is the worst thing.
A bunch of armed guys in blue and white jumpsuits with weird pistols are pointing them at you. They have like security helmets with little gridiron visors.
Hi.
Some of them appear human. The rest are clearly irradiated mutates. You can't come in here. How did you get access? How did you open the door?
We found a key card, and your door has 21 on it, and the key card had 21 on it.
Yes, sir. They speak American, but they could be commie pinko spies.
No
or
way.
nips.
Call me Pinkos. We're pure American.
We are American, and we are also government agents.
They claim to be from the government, sir. Yes, one of the mutants said so. Oh, God, it's so weird.
Wanda?
I'm going to show you my ID. I'm going to put the gun away.
You damn right you are.
Roxanne Emery, DMV.
They're from the motor vehicles department, sir.
No, the other DMV.
There is Noah.
Showing the...
They claim to be from the government. Yes, sir, I'll administer the test. We, the people...
Roxanne will know it. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but...
So much for the cool moment. Ken. Hey, the people not go pagliata.
I'm not doing the moronic Star Trek version.
Well,
I'll just recite the whole thing.
okay.
So,
We are instructed to bring you inside to meet the Overseer.
that sounds fine.
Now keep your hands up. Put your weapons on the ground. Especially the mutants.
That's all of us. But
I don't have a weapon. They won't give me one because I'm too bad.
Do you mind
The
if
equipment on the ground.
do you mind
All
if
of the equipment.
one of my people stays here and holds on to our
Absolutely
equipment?
not. We cannot risk the secrecy if you're NIP spies or from the Axis.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
All your equipment
Spin it
on the
around.
ground will be collected. Okay.
Evidence.
Once we're finished.
Meanwhile, Elvin. Suck.
All right. I'm going to allow this.
What is...
No, just calm down. Calm down.
Mutants go first. You two.
Come on.
That's us. What?
We're all mutants.
No. It's not the derogatory term. Like their skin. They've been mutated by the sun because of the loss of the ozone layer and the radiation. Is this because I'm black?
Come on,
down.
Wanda, please.
Calm down, Wanda.
I don't want anyone to shoot me, so okay.
Yeah.
Now, you two normal, upstanding American citizens, although you've got red in your hair.
It's magenta.
Well, konnichiwa. Pass this test. Yep. Get it.
I live by about 4 security guards. But now you can get closer. They're all extremely fit people. A little on the short side from the too tall, because everyone seems to make people who are over 6 foot tall for some reason. Could be compensating for something, I don't know.
shortness is a disease.
Thank you, Ken.
So, you folks haven't been losing people, have you?
And
Of course not.
say flushing them outside.
Not people.
What do you mean?
Let's
No
wait
question.
until we get to the overseer.
You're led
I'm
through a
sure.
security door, past some more security people, some of which are women. Very good-looking women.
All white.
Very progressive.
All, but there's nothing but like the whitest people here. Not that they're pale. though.
Is it like majority blonde, a couple of brunettes?
From
Would-
your sampling with the helmets, it's hard to tell. But I'd say they're probably like 50-50. Blonde other. Okay. And lead you to a room where there is a man beside a security terminal, and he is an older man with grey in his temples. I understand that a couple of government agents, or people purporting to belong to the government, have arrived with mutants, but I see that that was correct. I am Overseer Gray,
Roxanne Emery, DMV.
the Department of Motor Vehicles. Why would they send someone from the Department of Motor Vehicles?
No, the Department of Mutant Verification. One of your colleagues has my ID on.
Mutant verification? So the radiation is that bad? Oh my god, the world is lost.
No.
How long have you been down
Ro-
here?
Roxanne,
The whole
if
my
I-
life.
May I just ask one question in the middle here?
Please keep your mutants silent.
Darius.
Tarius, what do you know of old man Tarius?
We were led here by an older gentleman before he slipped and fell in the water. We tried to save him. I grabbed for him, but all I managed to save was his tunic. I fear the worst may have happened. He was trying to lead us here to the door.
Well, of course, the mutant nature is to betray. It is only to be expected. The ejected are not part of this society. No doubt they have died in the radioactive wastelands that Nipponese bombs have left. But since you purport to be from the government, and this does look like an official seal of these United States of America, there is a flag in the corner, by the way.
Roxy, do you
How many stars does it have?
Not the current number.
Roxy, does he not know that we bombed both China
Please
and...
keep the mutants silent.
We
Yep.
bombed the
Alvin,
Nips and the
please
Chinese.
be quiet.
Do you... Perhaps in the horrible post-war wasteland you need these mutants, but you must understand we follow the Constitution down here.
Things have changed.
We are willing to tolerate the presence of the mutants short-term while we investigate your claims. Frankly, we think we are long overdue. Our radio equipment was smashed, and we cannot communicate with the War Department or Ameritech.
We won the war.
God bless America! The guards are like, yeah, fuck those Japs, yeah, and their little Hitler too, woo!
We won the war like 60 years ago.
The fun dies off, as is, seems to be really common around you.
You couldn't have let them had that for like 5 minutes.
Why have we been... The Reconstruction must have been so long, and now you need us to help lead America, now that the infrastructure's back to the correct way of living. We are ready to serve America. If your claims are verified, you could be a Nipponese agent. So we're going to have to ask you politely, and rest assured, no American would steal your strange technological equipment. No doubt the war has advanced us greatly in 60 years, but you will find we are no slouches. We will have to ask you to remain in security cells while we check on these documents to ensure all the seals are correct.
How are you verifying this?
Well, the seals will be correct, ma'am. We have our procedures enshrined in the Great Bill of Denial of Rights.
But you do realize that if what I'm saying is true, those seals may be horrendously out of... I mean, your reference material may be horrendously out of date.
We were given a complete future-proofed verification kit by Ameritech Nuclear Solutions, ANS, one of the blue-chip stock corporations pre-war. well,
I don't feel like I need to ask this, but I'm going to. Do they exist anymore?
In fact, you would never have even heard of them.
I don't think that place exists anymore. Ameritech.
Well, of course, their corporate offices may have been bombed by the ruthless Hitlerite aggression. Hitlerite, you realize, is just a general term for the Axis enemies, not specifically meaning his secret order of death commandos, as in the movies. Now, please, accompany the security guards calmly to your internment cells, where you will be given medical checkups to ensure you are at least genetically pure.
Alvin's basically screaming what's been happening over there just for days.
Once you're inside, you can't reach him.
Just one thing. Amongst our possessions, you'll find photos of a deceased person.
How unusual of you.
You may...
Is this a loved one of yours?
No, you may recognize them, though, if they are indeed from here.
Oh, this is not a person. This is a mutant. They were ejected.
What is your ejection process?
Well, as you know, when a mutant is discovered amongst the population, it is a sign that the reactor has leaked or there's been a contamination in the pure bloodstock, says chiseled Mick American John Cena. They need to be either remaindered, processed down into a slurry so they can be used for the betterment of the vault, or ejected onto the radioactive surface, only to return if they find an American outpost who can come and update us on the war. And since none have returned, those outposts must not exist, or the horrible radioactive Nipponese serpent venom has got them, as in the movies.
So they do leave alive.
Of course they leave alive in their sad, damaged mutant state, no longer able to think rationally or be human, no longer able to love. As in the training video, you've got a mutant. He nods, expecting you have all to seen it.
I think someone is trying to keep these people down here.
I think they've been trapped down here.
Anyone who leaves...
Please stop talking over my head. I am the Overseer. Bombardment.
Bombardment.
Now, you will also not mind if we ask you to attire yourself in a proper, demure, feminine dress. I understand that things may be different in the future and clothing supplies may be in short demand, hence why you have been shorted a fabric ration. But we could spare some resources to attire you in a manner that is seemly and comportment-like.
I'm fine with how I'm dressed.
Your bravery speaks more to the American spirit than real words ever could. You're all led away to tiny little cells.
Individual cells or real?
Yes, but there's bars, so you can see each other.
So, Roxanne.
Uh-huh.
Not your best work, but did you think to ask about Old Man Darius, the guy from the outside that they apparently knew?
That came up.
Yeah, I know, but, how did you know, or how were you familiar with Old Man Darius, who was on the outside, considering you're so ill-informed?
It came up that they ejected him.
Yeah.
For being a mutant.
Yeah, they said that straight away, so...
We could be in a bit of a pickle here, though.
Well, Alvin can easily get out.
Medical personnel come by.
Oh,
We're
but
in
not
medical
now.
versions of blue and white things with a 21 and a cog on the back. Okay, now... Oh, my God! Oh, the radiation has been terrible to you. Oh, dear. We're going to need to perform some medical check. You are obviously mutants and do not need a medical check, but we'll have to check you both out and see if you need any Radaway or Radax.
We're fine.
Nonetheless, it is procedure. Please submit to the checks.
You should.
Medical machine. Medical machine. Well, thank you. It'll take about a week to get these results back.
Of course.
Naturally, of course, you expected us to have advanced medical technology by years. But we have done it by decades! A mere week! Okay, so some hours pass. Eventually the Overseer will return with... Well, your documents do check out. They carry the secret ribbon of stainless steel woven in there,
and they contain the proper code grouping, although of course it will be more modern, but apparently you are government agents, although from a department we can't imagine existing. So we have to ask, assuming these are not excellent forgeries or even stolen from your American slave race, because you could be Nipponese agents.
What?
The Axis powers, of course. We must maintain that possibility. But you couldn't have come at a more fortuitous time. There are some problems here in the vault.
So, we're free to go then?
Oh, you can't leave the vault yet.
Why not? You verified
Well, we still
our
got the
documents.
medical tests to come back. Obviously, to make sure you have not had any damaging radiation. For after all, no government agent would be a mutant.
I told you that there is no damaging... There were no bombs from Japan.
Of course they were! Or from Germany. How else do you think we got sealed down here? You'll have to try a better joke than that. The comedy
Sealed?
routine of that nature has already long passed into memory. Good times.
Sealed. We walked here.
Yes, indeed, through the treacherous caverns, no doubt. Or inserted here by Nipponese masters, we don't know yet. But in the meantime, I'm willing to give you the benefit of my doubt. This is, of course, Vault 21, one of the many vaults ANS seeded across America. No doubt, if you are really from the government, you are bringing the pure American gene stock and proper way of living out onto the surface, one vault at a time.
And of course you'll understand that if I am from the government and the government department, I have to regularly check in with my superiors, so I cannot wait a week down here, or they will send armed men in.
Of course I understand that, and I also understand that you have been properly briefed, of course.
Yes.
Which means you would know that the word of the overseer supersedes any orders that you have, as is enshrined in the Constitution of America.
Not anymore.
Well, down here it still is, and we are charged with the burden of carrying correct law and governance to rule over the America of the future until such time as a new overseer is born, when they will do it.
But then you're going to be facing a bunch of armed men coming to get us when we don't check in.
Of course, we are prepared for that exigency, and have all the proper military code phrases ready to go. In the meantime, I would like to show you our vault, and you can appreciate the society you will soon be living in, on a free surface of post-war victory America. Or, if you are a Nipponese agent, you will see the kind of steely determination that will crush you through a series of guerrilla rebellions. Or in the third option, you just leave these fucks alone.
Cement up the vault door and leave.
Now, I hope you will understand if I assign you a permanent security escort. Knowing that you are all so young and hip, I have assigned hip young youths fresh to the core, so they can teach you the proper ways of America while you tour our vault, and maybe help us with a few things that we sadly can't deal with ourselves. But we look forward to your great American assistance. Sound good, Miss Emery? I know you're pulling for Uncle Sam.
I am. I'm just confused.
All that confusion will be eroded away in a series of gentle indoctrinating zhuzhes.
Indoctrinating.
Pay no attention to that. What could possibly happen to you down here? No. I'm just being funny. Here's a map of the vault. Turn only as appropriate. Sorry about the quality, I don't have access to a printer.
So we are on level 1?
Yes, of course. So you are introduced to the guard that will be with you at all times. This is Officer Bradford. There's a girl. She's hot.
Howdy, ma'am.
Hi, she will presumably say. This is the time where you talk.
Yeah, I said hello and saluted.
Can't talk to him.
Oh, this is you! Oh, see, I don't know that.
They don't see it.
Officer Bradford recently suffered a family loss, so you'll forgive her unnatural coloration. Officer Bradford, these two are apparently, possibly, government agents. Perhaps. You will be required to escort them on a lovely tour around our facility with me, and then when they're roving around on their own recognizance, just watch over them. These other two are radioactive mutants from the surface, which have been pressed into slavery for the government. Or some kind of work. I don't really understand why you have a pair of mutants with you. I mean, I am a mutant, I guess, but... How did you... Massa, may I speak to the man?
Is that okay with you, Overseer?
Well, if you give your mutants permission to speak, perhaps this is the new way of things on the surface. Very well. Oh, excuse me, Massa, I don't mean to interrupt your time or nothing. I'm just a poor southern girl from up on the surface there. But I was wondering how it was you knew that we was a mutate types just by looking upon our lovely visit there, sir. Well, because of your black skin. Massa? Could you please ask the nice gentleman if he has never heard of a Negro, or African American, or an African at all?
Yeah, Mr. Overseer, have you heard of Africans, African Americans?
We've heard of the continent of Africa, a bunch of British people with handlebar mustaches, right?
No.
Well, you see, unfortunately, we've had to reconstruct our history records since they were lost. So we don't have precise records of these dangerous radiated mutants.
Okay, query. How long in Earth-60 history has...
Since...
The African-American history is the same, right? Up until the 60s when...
Mm-hmm.
Or the 40s, I should say.
Pretty much. For the large part, that they did, it would have been the same, yeah.
I suppose none of these people have ever been alive on the surface. Probably.
Yeah, but I would have thought if these folks were related to World War II, then they would have come down at a time when African Americans were very much normal amongst the American populace, even if they were looked down upon.
Oh, sure, yeah, you're right. So, yeah.
How long has this facility been around?
Well, since the bombs dropped in, what was it, 43, 44? Ancient history's such a thing for me. Bradford, do you remember?
Yes, sir. 43.
43, when the bombs dropped. You know, the Nipponese bombs?
That never dropped.
I never get sick of that one.
Well, you know, we're the ones from the surface who have been living up there for over 60 years.
Or potentially the Nipponese agents trying to spread misinformation. I do have to consider that, and we are very set in our ways. Rich American tradition, as passed down by word of mouth from our grandparents. And they never mentioned no mutants or Africa.
But you've heard of Africa.
Oh yeah, all tucked away down there beneath Canada.
Okay. No, that's America.
No. America's above Mexico.
Yeah.
Stretches all the way to the North Pole, from sea to shining sea. The North Pole is an icy place where Eskimos live.
Oh, no.
Or did before the bombs dropped.
Look, this doesn't...
Anyway, let's take you around the vault.
Of course.
Right, there's a map with the things on it. I don't have the records here, but we'll see. Oh god, I have a lot of scrolling here. Oh boy, let's just do this ad hoc. Welcome to our security, quarantine, and decontamination center. Periodically, although most vault dwellers don't know this, scouts are occasionally deployed to scout out the surface and find out if the war is over. None of them ever return, so the quarantine center remains unused.
How often do you send out scouts?
Oh, I don't know, once every 10 or so years. Recently, as often as 5 years. With the radio equipment damage, we have no choice but to sacrifice people in this manner.
I'll see.
Going down a set of stairs to the next level. which is conveniently tiered.
Let's see.
This, of course, is our medical isolation laboratory area. We also have a lovely recreation area and pool. Handsome, attractive people everywhere. Of course, this is one of the more state-of-the-art of the many, many vaults that were absolutely completed. No. Down to another level. There's a bunch of people not wearing blue and white. They're wearing riotous colors. This is, of course, our recreational facilities, library, commissary. You can watch moving picture shows here. And, of course, buy various things with your ration shares or internal dollar loans.
Oh, hey,
As you can see,
bowling.
Yes, of course, we have bowling. 2 whole lanes of bowling. Look at it. We're thinking of tunneling out and adding a 3rd lane of bowling. These recreational activities are far beyond what you will have experienced.
Sure.
So Wonder and I get to come along for this, or
Oh, yeah. You're attracting a lot of attention and stares from people. We even have radio shows and other such things. The American way of life, there's like kids running around like they're in the 50s dress. American way of life preserved in perpetuity within the sanctity of the many vaults that will have been constructed by ANS, of which we are just one ready to bring America back to the proper way of life. Interesting hat there.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
My grandfather told tales of wide-hatted men who wrangled cows. Like many of them, all across the surface. We only keep 10 at a time here.
I ain't never wrangled no cattle, but that is where the head comes from.
That is an ancient hat, no doubt. Yeah, we have things. He's kind of. You guys are walking around. They're like, yep, and he's just like, yeah, but we have. Look at this ancient and wonderful way of being that you don't have.
That's true.
Is there video games? How do you know about video games? Oh, from one of the other vaults. This adds credence to your story. Yassam. Yes, we have video games developed right here using the power of an ANS computer to play games on a computer. A computer is a type of electronic calculating device that we have here. It may seem futuristic to you, but we did not stand still in technology and production. We continue to advance.
There's a device that you took off me I might have to show you later.
Yes, your devices and strange accoutrements and religious symbols will be returned to you.
Okay.
But please make sure you don't lose those guns.
Yes, your strange artifacts will be returned as well. Of course, we have made many advances in our own weapons. Bradford, show them your piece.
Which one, sir?
The 10 mil. We had to create our own kinds of guns as the ANS weapons fell apart in the first few months.
So what does it look like?
Looks like a 10 mil from Fallout.
Yeah.
It's a big blocky ass chunk of a pistol.
It's awfully big.
Yes, intimidating and powerful. Why, one of these pistols can drop a rad roach in just a few shots. If those few shots are preceded by an entire clip. You can put it away now, Bradford. Fine example of America. Bombardment. On the next level, and in fact I have many other levels, but I've only mapped out the ones that you're probably going to... These are the living quarters, where our over 300 pure Americans live and breed and play.
Wow, this must stretch on forever.
It seems to, but it's actually limited by the constraints of space and time. Not like in the moving pictures, where time is a thing that is elastic and can be manipulated. The ingenuity of our entertainment's director knows no bounds. Now, I will leave you, and after showing you several other floors containing an arboretum and some other things that are just not on the map. It has everything you'll need, so you'll find a thing. Here's the engineering section, but we can't let you in. It's very dangerous. Now I'll leave you alone to wander around and greet our people for a bit before I ask you to help us in a vital matter. Perhaps, in time, you will understand what it really means to be an American, the greatest nation on Earth. Mutant folk, mutant folk, mutant folk, mutant folk.